everybody, welcome back to the channel wherever you may be watching this. Thank you. I really appreciate the love. I'm your favorite sports guy, the sports judge. I don't think Sam Darnold was quite ready for the playoffs. I mean, that was obvious. I saw the old Sam Darnold. That's exactly what I saw. Somebody who looked scared, defeated, shook, and even perplexed at times. The Minnesota Vikings had every reason to lose on Monday night. And I'm telling you, that beating that Darnold took the other night cost him a lot of money. You can't win a football game when your quarterback is getting sacked as many times as he was in that game. And when he reverts back to old habits, looking like he was playing for the New York Jets and not the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, the poor guy looked lost. Running backwards, taking 6 sacks, including that strip sack touchdown. And that all happened in the first half. Very bad look for Sam Darnold. We can't be sure exactly what Sam Darnold saw. Ghost maybe? Casper the Friendly Ghost? I don't know. I genuinely, in a way, feel bad for him. 16 weeks of looking sharp and like this new player who nobody ever seen until he had this terrible outing. It was a breakout year for him. Then he had to go on the road and try to beat the Detroit Lions with a division crown on the line and a number 1 seed on the line. I don't know, maybe that broke him. Okay, that was a quarterback who appeared to be broken and not able to be fixed in time for this wild card game. I mean, I watched that game. I'm not so sure he's a $30 million guy. The fumble, the pick, and getting sacked with regularity. That wasn't good. Quarterbacks are in high demand. So somebody will give him the $30 million. He'll probably make that a year somewhere, but not in Minnesota. You can tell by the second series of the game, Sam Darnold was rattled. Details matter more. The bigger the game, the bigger the competition. And as soon as things got a little tough in terms of competition, you had to go up against the Super Bowl caliber team, the Detroit Lions, and a very good Rams team that pressured you all night. Now, all of a sudden, Darnold returns to the dark side. You took 3 steps forward this season only to take 3 steps back. It almost reminds me of his time with the New York Jets where he looked like the worst quarterback in the league. And this quarterback, I like Sam Darnold. I gave him his flowers all season. I was impressed with his transformation. A big part of the team's success early, this Vikings team came out of the gates early, clicking on all cylinders. Well, a big part of that was Sam Darnold's resurgence. His efficiency and capability have been huge, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. And what he did in the regular season in 14 games, throwing for 4,300 yards and 35 touchdowns, doesn't matter when he looked like the worst quarterback in the league the last 2 weeks. It's crazy what a good organization and a good coach can do to a career. If you watch Sam Darnold, it was a dream, then a reality, then a nightmare. And now it's crazy to think how much money he just lost himself. This was that kind of game where you were really playing for something. This was a game with a lot of bread on the line. And in the wild card game, he really puts up one of the worst playoff performances. This guy who puts together this unbelievable season, most people pick the Vikings to win less than 8 games and finish second to last in their division. So anyway, they go on this surprising run and finish the year 14-3 and had a great season, and they lose game 18 to the Detroit Lions. They could have had the number 1 seed, a bye, not even playing the Rams, And Sam Darnold, after having the best season of his career, and this is a guy who bounced around, couldn't find a home, bounced around, and he finds a home in Minnesota where he gets with the right coach, Kevin O'Connell, an offensive mind who can turn something average into something good. And that's what you got from Sam Darnold, who has this remarkable out-of-nowhere season. And, of course, it ends the worst way it possibly could as the season goes up in smoke and flames. And after the worst night of his career, there's a lot of talk about Sam Darnold and what's going to happen and what do you do if you're the Minnesota Vikings because you have J.J. McCarthy. Do you pay him? Do you offer the franchise tag? What do you do? Where do you go from here? What do the future look like for the Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold? You just don't feel the same about him after seeing that on Monday night. You were reminded how bad he used to look. That wasn't good. I feel now might be the time to move on from Sam Darnold. This is the best situation for Sam Darnold, but now the Vikings have a tough decision to make. When they drafted J.J. McCarthy from Michigan, they moved up to get him. They thought there was something there that they would move up to get him. You're building a team. You got to have a quarterback. You have a coach who can develop one. And McCarthy is someone who is not going to cost you a lot of money because he's on the rookie deal, obviously. You can add any quarterback and plug him in, and he'll flourish in that system because it's quarterback friendly. I wouldn't spend the money on a quarterback who obviously showed me that he can't get it done in the postseason. I don't want to know what he can do for 14 games. Show me what you can do when the number one seed is on the line, when a division title is on the line. What can you do when it's win or go home? In an NFC wildcard game, he comes up empty. Nothing to show for it. I'm done. I'm good. Exactly why you don't pay Sam Darnold $40+ million. This is why. I would like to see what J.J. McCarthy can give me. Live and in action. I don't think Darnold can be that guy in the postseason. He's like some of these other quarterbacks who, in meaningful games, come up small. To get sacked 9 times in the game and look as pedestrian as he did, that's a problem. That's a problem for me. And 2 games was enough for me. I mean, that's all I needed to see to say that he's still the same guy. Elite weapons and coaching hid it for a while, but he's never going to be a quarterback that elevates his team. I can be nice by saying that Darnold is a starting caliber quarterback, but he's not a championship caliber quarterback. Let me just come out and say this is Kirk Cousins 2.0, a guy who's not going to win you a playoff game. In just 2 games, he went from a possible $40 million a year quarterback to a possible free agent. And in those 2 big games, he didn't step up because, for one, he's never been in them. And secondly, he can't handle any amount of pressure. Brutal 2 weeks. I think when Darnold plays his best, there are heights that this Vikings team can go, but that's only in a game that's not high stakes. A game against a defense that's not getting after him, not pressuring him, not making life difficult and miserable for him. The frustrating thing about Darnold is that he's scared to get hit. You hear me say this all the time. You can't be a quarterback scared to get hit. I know for sure Darnold is not the guy going forward. And I would be very surprised if the Vikings waste money on him in the offseason. Let me just tell you, this is the kind of performance that has you saying to yourself, yep, J.J. McCarthy will be our starting quarterback moving forward. I'm making J.J. my guy. Yeah, the stats looked good from week 1 to week 14. Yeah, we saw how good he was. We sat up here and praised him as a winner, but no way am I giving him an extension and making him a franchise quarterback next season and beyond. I'm not doing that. Not after you got sacked 9 times in the game. And I know a lot of credit goes to the Los Angeles Rams. And if the Eagles aren't up on their game, they could lose to the Los Angeles Rams. Did you see what Jared Verse was out there doing to Sam Darnold? I mean, he was harassing this man left and right. He was getting after Sam Darnold. And, I mean, Sam Darnold was just scared the entire night. You see this guy out here making Superman plays. And I can tell you this, the Rams do not miss Aaron Donald one bit. They don't miss him at all because they got a guy, they got Jared Verse, who has come in, replaced this guy. Now, I'm not saying he's the next Aaron Donald and all that. He's not on his level. I get all of that. But this guy has come in and filled the void nicely, and you saw that on Monday night. And Sam Darnold just couldn't, make anything happen for the Minnesota Vikings because, again, in big moments, he tends to, ball up and go into a little corner or whatever happens to him. I don't know. He looked rattled in that game, like I said moments ago in this video. It just wasn't the same Sam Darnold that we got used to seeing each week, and he picked the wrong time to look like this terrible quarterback again. So I say no to Sam Darnold. If I'm the Minnesota Vikings, I'm moving on without him. I'm letting him walk in free agency. Somebody else can sign him to that 30, 40 plus million, whatever he's looking for. But it ain't going to be the Minnesota Vikings. I can tell you that right now. They already have moved on from him, and I think that might be the right thing to do. Just say goodbye to Sam Darnold. It was nice, Sam Darnold. Thank you for everything you've done. We really appreciate it. Great year. You was phenomenal for us. Thank you for your services, but we no longer need your services. You can take your talent to another city. We are moving on. We are going to go with J.J. McCarthy now. He is going to be our quarterback, and he is going to lead us in the future. That's how you go about that situation, right? So I think we saw the end of the Sam Darnold era in Minnesota. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate it. Got to get out of here now. Thank you guys for coming on, joining me. Thank you guys. It's a pleasure to always have you guys on. And we'll talk again soon, but I'm out of here, guys. It's been fun chatting, as always. And you guys know, the Sports Judge, he keeps it coming with the content. He'll have more great content for you, as always. So buckle up. It's going to be exciting stuff. NFL playoffs, divisional round this weekend. A lot to talk about, a lot to get into. So buckle up, fasten those seatbelts, and come back for some more. But guys, I'll talk to you guys very soon again. Take care, everyone. Peace.